Shannon, you can.
Thank you, Babaji. Please feel free if you'd like to speak with Babaji to let me know via chat. You can also send a comment or question via the chat, and I'm happy to relay it to Babaji.
Looks like nobody has any questions, so I will start asking questions.
There is one actually, Babaji. I just had a relationship breakup. My heart is torn. What can I do to help me heal?
Look at your mind. Your mind is always going back to what it could have been, it should have been, maybe feeling guilty or blaming and living with that loss. So mind will go to those events and those moments and situations. Right now, maybe there will be a time that relationship will be mended, but right now the work is to really come back to yourself. This is the work. Look at the nature of the mind. Where is it going? What is it suggesting? What kind of message is coming from there? And what kind of emotion is rising in you? So this is a perfect time to go under your own shelter and take care of yourself. This is time to look at those daily routines very carefully. 9 points of daily routine that the ashram has put out. Spend a little time, even though mind will say, I don't feel like doing, I don't care, I'm devastated. You will stay devastated unless you start making some very concrete, positive movement to take care of yourself. So come back to yourself, take care of your body, take care of your mind, bring in some little new routine of maybe walking, exercising. And when it gets a little bit more settled, something will happen. But please do not let go of your self-care. And self-care is the first step to return to yourself. Take care of your body, take care of your mind.
Thank you, Babaji. There's a couple more questions. This one is, hi, Babaji. Right now, my father is in end of life care. He can't speak or open his eyes, but he can hear us. I'm just sitting here with him, holding his hand, relaying beautiful memories. Is there any mantra I can chant for him?
Mantras are many, depending on which mantra you are familiar with. One mantra to give him a little peace is Mahamrityunjay mantra. Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhim pustivardhanam urvarukamiva bandhana mrityor mokshiyamamritat. It's Maha, M-A-H-A, Mrityunjay, M-R-I-T-U-N-J-A-Y, mantra. Google it. You'll find all kinds of things on YouTube, people singing it in various ways. You could even have that mantra playing in the background very silently, very slowly. It changes the vibration of the air in the room. And while touching, holding, sitting next to your father, you could even send out some messages that even you don't have to speak it, you are thinking about positive messages. You have had a full life, we have had a great life, whatever disagreements and all those things we have had, now it's time to free yourself from that. I free you from my expectations, and expectations are related to the worldly things, but now you're ready to move into another dimension where only pure self, pure Atma enters. So these kind of higher things. And so pay attention to what kind of thoughts are even going in your mind. Mahamrityunjay mantra is a good mantra. And if you have received a mantra, you can do your mantra job. What is very helpful, if in the very last moment that you see the time of leaving is very near, the most important message that you want to give to him, just holding a drop of water in a spoon, just charging that with that thought, just put that drop in his mouth. Water is a very powerful medium. And if that drop of water goes in his mouth with that intention, the thought that you have charged it with, it just goes to every single cell of his body. So these kind of things you can do. My prayers are with your father's spirit.
Thank you, Babaji. There are two questions for you about India. One is, how is it to be back in India? And then a question about how are the young men at the ashram?
For me, coming back to India is always, I notice unconsciously some part of me relaxes. And I can't tell you what relaxes, but probably because I was born here and first 18, 19 years of my life was in here, I'm familiar with the language, I'm familiar with the people, their glances, their movements, so I don't have to pay too much attention. Somehow I feel that. So something in me relaxes. When I go back to the States, something in me relaxes too, because I have developed some other things over there. And it reminds me, actually, coming back to India, it also always reminds me the power of work that we are doing. And the messages of simplicity, messages of being of service, messages of being quiet, messages of doing inner work. And this really needs to be propagated in India now. So I feel to people who come in contact with me here, just to stress the importance of those things. If you look nowadays, many teachers, many gurus in India, just telling stories, singing songs and getting people worked up. Very few are really encouraging to just sit, be still, be calm, keep it simple. So I feel that my message here is very important. And that makes me feel good. I'm a little different than the rest, lots of people out there. Message of simplicity, message of keep your practice so simple. It doesn't need to be gods, goddesses, and temples, this, that. Everything is within you. You don't need to do anything, just be calm. Simple messages. So I feel the message that I bring here from living in the West is important, and the message that I give in the West is important. So it really makes me feel good that way. The young men at the Bal Ashram can run the place by themselves without anybody. And I'm very proud to see these boys that who have done a good work. If there were no grown-ups here, probably they'll be happier. But you need one or two old ones sitting around somewhere. And as long as one or two old ones are somewhere, things keep moving. But they're good. A few of the boys have gone out. They're going into colleges, and more are getting ready. They're finding their purpose. They're finding their direction. Some are lost. A couple of them are lost too. But they know this is their home, and they keep running back here. And as most of you know, that we cannot take orphans now, so we were thinking about changing the direction. Now we are going to turn it into a home for children from poor families who cannot put them through school. So we are going to open up the room and board here, take on the expenses of their education, and so that's the direction we are going right now. So the boys will be always here. Girls will be always there at Shantiniketan. The only thing is that they have to be brought in here by their parents and left in our custody. Then we don't have to deal with the Indian government and their bureaucracy. Because dealing with the Indian bureaucracy can be a job for a team, full-time job that we don't have. Did that answer that question, or I can elaborate? I can keep speaking about that because my mind is all in it. So
I think anything you want to say. Oh, there is a question. How many kids live there?
there are around 20 right now. And there are always a few going and coming back. So the number keeps fluctuating. The old ones who have gone out, if they on vacation time, this is their home. That's where they come. So that's also nice to see.
There are several shares about how much people were moved by your story of the noise and finding a space to connect to stillness, and many, many thanks about how heart-opening it is to be with you today, and your gratitude for your teachings. There's almost too many to share.
And like where I am sitting right now, in the scriptures, it's written, where the Ganges, the holy river Ganges, flows north, sun is rising in the east. It's a very sacred, energetically sacred space to do spiritual work. And on the same spot where our ashram is, for thousands of years, yogis have sat on the bank of the Ganga and have received much from this place. Varanasi, the holy city of Varanasi, is the hub of the spiritual work in India. The oldest living city on planet Earth, where spirituality has been practiced. So yes, there is lots of noise and turbulence and loudspeakers and DJ. You know what DJ is? What is kya DJ? Disco Disco jockey. Here they call DJ. And it's like big speakers, boom, 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 boom. And it really, I mean, you feel it, you move your body with it. Whether you want to move it or not, you're pushed by that sound. It's so boom, boom on the heart, in the mind, everywhere. Kids love it. And so all that is happening. But just through the meditation or through sitting, just taking your mind to what was happening here 150 years ago. Even that thought sometimes takes you there. Wherever your mind is, that becomes your reality. So take your mind 150 years back. You're sitting on this spot. Let your imagination run. Richard Mendelssohn, it's good to see you.
Nice to see you too, Baba. Thanks for this satsang. It's really heartwarming. Good to hear about the boys. Glad that you're having a great time there. I've just been thinking about, do we get stuck in our ways and the role of multiculturalism and travel? And then I realized you don't need to go anywhere. It is a state of mind. You can do all the work sitting right in your own home. And yeah, it's powerful. Thank you for your thoughts today.
And we do need little reminders, that's why the Sangha is important and looking at everybody sitting in different parts of the country and the world, and we are thinking about and talking and contemplating about these things, reminding each other, and technology is here that enables us to do these kind of things. But the technology could be a problem too. Too much looking at your phone, too much media, too much this and that. So we have all the blessings and how we manage our blessings. That is very important. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Baba.
Shiva is doing great.
Good.
I know you sponsored his education and he's running the whole hospital.
Great to
This
hear.
little boy, this little boy who was 4 years old when he came, malnutrition, but now he's the manager of the hospital. And you know what he does every day?
What's that?
He's very different from the rest of the boys. He will not leave his room unless he's well dressed.
I can't wait to be at his future wedding. I'm looking forward to that.
He takes pride in it. This is his hospital, and he lives there. He has a room even in the hospital, and so he's there 24 hours, and we call him the boss. He's the boss. All the boys even call him the boss.
Nice to hear.
And it has been a journey. We have built this ashram over the last 25 years. And when I came here first looking for a little place where we could build a little home for the children in need, this was the biggest open door, outdoor toilet. People will come and just relieve themselves on the bank of the river. And people who were there, they had to clean it with their own bare hands. They didn't have any gloves. That was the first Aghor practice. And today, this is like one of the most beautiful spots in the whole city of Varanasi because of the initiatives we have brought, the things we have taught to keep things tidy and clean and green and nice looking. And here are the fireworks. And So we have done a great job here. It's small, but it's a good model.
Babaji,
Yes, Howie.
I want to thank you for this wonderful satsang, and it took me back to the same feelings I've had there with the noise and the craziness and the inner peace that's there in the sanctum of the Bala Ashram. I remember when we first went there, and I'm just so happy to see all the growth and the young boys being men and all your programs continuing there, and just want to thank you for everything, Baba.
Now I want to focus on girls too. So, because looking at all the girls that came from Shanti Niketan, they are getting of age and they need to be trained, and some vocational trainings, and one wants to become an air hostess, one wants to become a nurse, one wants to become a policewoman. So I said, okay, that's great. Many wants to become doctors and nurse and chartered accountants, CPA. So they have nice aspirations, you know. So that's one thing I want to focus on girls now, and maybe put them through their education, whatever it needs. We'll probably create a school fund for them. Yes, Howie, you were here with me when we had come here for the first time, to when we found the
Yes.
land.
I
know you
remember
picked-
Baba very well.
Yes. It has
Please
been
give
a-
my pranam to everyone.
Richard and Marcy,
Namaste, Babaji. We're there
li-
with you. Everything you're
you-
saying, it's beautiful to have just to feel all the energy and what you're describing and hearing from Richard and Howie. We're all part of that too. So it's really special.
those of you who don't know, Richard and Marcy lived here for a year. They put their daughter in an Indian school and closed their house in Massachusetts and came and lived here for a year. So they're very well loved and remembered here.
Mm.
Now they have become grandparents.
Yeah,
Lena just had a baby, right?
yeah. Ashray, yeah. Mm. Makes me want to come back soon to India. We'll do our best sometime to get there again.
Come, it's here. We have created it, so let's enjoy it. And today's teaching at the Bal Ashram was, life is short.
Hmm.
That was the reading here today. Kya tha ji? Jivan? जीवन क्षण भंगुर है, life is short.
Mm.
फिर आगे? Do not get caught up in small things. Oh human, worship the Divine Mother. When are you going to worship the Divine Mother? So sometimes we say, yeah, I have to do the work, but I'm too busy right now. I have no time. I will do the work when I have a little more time. But today's teaching was, you do not have time unless you find it every day.
Mm.
5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, whatever it takes to. So do not postpone it. Keep it every day. Who is in the temple in the Sonoma Ashram? I see a few people. Can somebody come to camera? Brian?
Hello, Babaji. Namaste. Jishu's here. Brad is here. Patty and Stuart.
Jishnu is there. पहुंच गए?
How are you? Wow.
आज चलिए Nice. It's nice to have you there. Ron, how are you?
Doing well, Baba. Amy and I just returned from Thailand. I think it was last night. So we were one time zone away. Things are going well, and looking forward to coming out to India in January.
So for
Maya's-
those of you who do not know Ron Barrett did his PhD on Aghor, and he wrote a beautiful book called Aghor Medicine. And somebody, if you want to read a little bit more, that's a beautiful little book. And Ron, did you send me a box?
I did, Baba. We sent you. I sent you a box, I think, a couple of months ago. So I believe Shannon has distributed the.
Okay, we'll have to check if we got it. Stuart, can
I
you
think-
look into that?
I think it was received. I got an email.
Okay. That's a beautiful book, Aghor Medicine, and that will give you a little bit more insight.
It was a great pleasure. It was with your blessing, and you opened many doors, and it was a great privilege to do that work. I'm looking forward to. I was there with Howie when we first saw that plot of land 20 something years ago, and got to see the first few stages, but it sounds like it's really blossomed. I'm looking forward to seeing what's come of it. I know that Maya is very keen to spending some time there as well. She'll be coming with me.
I know
My daughter.
Maya is going to come and do some work here. Maya was not even born there, born when Ron was here. So it's the next generation coming, and it really makes me feel good.
I also really liked your story about the challenge of the external world. And I was thinking of Benares and how it's a very spiritual place, but it also tested my spirit a few times. So with some
Good to
amusement,
see you,
but
Ron.
also heartfelt. Yeah, thank you.
Dadu, are you at Upasana? Unmute yourself, Dadu.
Can you hear me now, Babaji? Yes.
I can hear you all the time, even when you are not speaking.
That seems to be a theme around here. Yeah, I'm here and Carol's here. I think.
Is
Nima-
Carol in silence or Carol is speaking?
I'm speaking. Pranam Babaji.
It's hot here. We had to turn the air conditioner on, and I'm sure you guys are cold there.
We got a fire going.
I see.
Yeah.
Everything good at Upasana?
Everything's good, yeah. It's just starting to get colder up here now.
I see.
Mhm.
Did I see Shubal somewhere?
Yes, Baba.
I didn't see you. How was your stay at Upasana?
Austere and beautiful. Very austere, very confrontational with nature. I sort of, at a certain point, there's a place where you can look out over the ocean and you're surrounded by these giant trees. Just feel so close to who I am. Just was a beautiful, beautiful 2 days.
Well, if you want to confront with nature, come to Benares.
Is it
Mosquitoes.
nature or is it humanity?
Well, everything, mosquitoes, monkeys, dogs, humans, noise, that forces you to retrieve to yourself. That's why India is great catalyst. It forces you to. Once I was in Calcutta, and I was going to a Kali temple, and to go down in the temple, you have to go down the steps. And I went in, and there was a crowd. I went in the middle, And I got claustrophobic and I wanted to turn around and leave. But I looked back and I could not leave. And there were so many people in there that my feet was not touching the ground. I was up in the air, just moving with the crowd. And I panicked. That was the moment to remember, what you teach? Breathe. A total surrender. That was the moment I have experienced surrender. I just let go, stopped fighting, just closed my eyes and took a few deep breaths. Next, when I opened my eyes, I was in front of the statue where I was going. And then I was carried away, pushed by this. So things happen. In India, you are pushed sometimes to just surrender. I know, Subal, you have been trying to surrender for a long time. But when you are really ready, we'll bring you to Banaras and leave you here.
That's where I will end up. It's physical body anyway.
Be well.
Love Baba.
Love you. Thank you, everyone. It has been beautiful to see you, and I see many faces that I can sit and talk with you. And but I know it's time for you to do many things. Unless anybody has anything else to say, I will say goodbye to you all. And
Namaste, Baba.
Mark, it's good to see you. All your footage of India are getting old now.
Yeah, so am I. I have an idea about that. I
Okay.
think we can put it all on a server. All of it.
All right. So we'll talk once I come back. But Neeraj Babu, how are you?
बाबा जी बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ मैं आऊंगा आपको मिलने बाबा जी
अच्छा आएंगे
12 तारीख को आऊंगा
अच्छा 12 को ठीक है आइए Let's take a moment to just close our eyes and we connect across the oceans. May the vibrations of peace emanating from our heart cover the whole planet. May there be peace. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Babaji.
Pranam, Babaji.
Thank you, Baba.
जी
Thank you,
Pranam, Babaji.
Thank you.
बाबा
Pranam, Baba. Thank you.
Namaste.
बाबा थैंक यू
Thank you, Babaji.
Thank you, Baba.
Blessings around you. Thank you.
We will do one at the daytime so I can take the iPad and just kind of have a little fun. So look for that. It could be, if it's at 9 o'clock in the morning here, it will be late for you wherever you are, but it will be recorded. You can look at it later on too. But I want to have fun and enjoy this new technology and connect in this way.
Excellent.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Baba.
Thank you, Baba.